What is going on, guys? Randall419, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great morning, and I know some of you are, and some of you probably aren't because of today's news. And what are we going to be talking about in this video? We're going to be talking about LawBreakers, CliffyB, Xbox, and PlayStation. So the news just broke a few minutes ago that CliffyB's new gravity-defying first-person shooter from Boss Key Studios, LawBreakers, is not only coming to PC, which it was always announced for, and they've had closed betas and alphas for it, but is now on its way to the PS4. And this is definitely going to anger some people, right? So let's talk about this. Now, it's no surprise that the game's coming to console. I always thought at some point CliffyB would bring this first-person shooter to consoles. We have Overwatch on consoles. A lot of those shooters have made their way over and have become really big. Even a couple years ago, when outlets have asked CliffyB about this game coming to consoles, he never denied it, ever. People just assumed it was a matter of time, maybe after the PC release, that it would come to PS4 and Xbox. But it seems like it's coming to console before anybody really thought it would, right? So now, it sounds like it's launching day and date, coming this year, PC, PlayStation 4, and it's totally just leaving the Xbox in the dust. That's right. LawBreakers is not coming to Xbox, which means it is a PlayStation 4 console exclusive from an Xbox legend. Man, this is really gonna piss off a lot of people out there, right? I mean, I'm not particularly upset. I wasn't that big of a Gears fan. I do like CliffyB. I think he's a charismatic kind of dude, but this is definitely gonna piss some people off. Now, there's a couple different ways you can look at this. Why go to PS4? Why shun the Xbox community? And those questions aren't really easily answered, but we can always talk about these things. CliffyB mentioned a couple years ago when talking about the game, about bringing it to the PC, he always said we wouldn't be able to do the port ourselves. We really need a great partner that can knock it out of the park, keep it 60 hertz, nail the controls, and make it fantastic. And he thought maybe, they would have to partner with a publisher and maybe another port studio because they couldn't do the work. And maybe Sony was willing to fund that. Maybe Sony bought time exclusivity on the game, because I'm not really seeing anything from Sony here about bragging about the game being exclusive. So I don't think I don't think it's gonna be a full exclusive. I think it might be time for a while, but either way, this is very interesting development. Extremely interesting, right? The fact that a first-person shooter, the bread and butter of Xbox, remember, because everybody calls the Xbox the dude bro shooter box, right? First-person shooters are basically what makes the Xbox popular, right? Is skipping Xbox. Like, think about it like this. I completely understand why Japanese RPGs and Japanese developers don't take the time to put their games on Xbox. I completely get it from a business perspective. I mean, I may not like it at all, and I would like to play some of those games like Neo and Nier Automata and stuff like that, but I understand from a business perspective why companies, especially Japanese companies, don't put their games on Xbox, because they simply just don't sell. I get it. And I think a lot of other people out there get it as well. However, first-person shooters do extremely well. This game from CliffyB, an Xbox legend who created Gears of freaking War, would have done wonders, would have done so good on Xbox. And the fact that it is skipping it, at least for now, well, we don't know, may skip it forever, But skipping it at launch for whether it's 6 months, 12 months, and forever, that is a huge, huge blow to Xbox. Because it brings up that perception of what is going on there. What is happening at Xbox? Yeah, it's one thing to not have Neo come out on your platform. It's one thing not to have Nier Automata come out on your platform. It's one thing not to have Persona 5 come out on your platform, right? We all understand the reasons for those games not coming out. And I'm not saying I don't want those games to come on Xbox, because I do. I really do. But you get the reasons. You understand from those companies' business perspectives why they don't do it. But this is a first-person shooter. And this is CliffyB. And it's skipping Xbox? Wow. Wow. So either Sony helped port the game themselves, or they paid some exclusive rights to get the game on Xbox. Or Microsoft, because I saw those quotes from Cliffy. He said they would need external support, and if somebody was willing to do it, they'd do it. Did Sony offer external support and help? And that's why they're getting the port? And did Microsoft not offer those same type of things, and that's why the game's not coming? I don't know. I got a DM from my buddy when this was announced, and he's like, literally said, "Fuck me. Are you serious? LawBreakers is coming to PS4, not Xbox?" He's extremely, extremely disappointed. Now, this brings me to another point I wanted to make. I've said this before in my indie discussions and things like this, right? How do you make your game stand out in a crowded marketplace? There are tons of first-person shooters out there that range from Overwatch to Rainbow Six to Halo to Call of Duty to Battlefield, you name it. The first-person shooter genre is oversaturated, but those games sell well, right? But how do you stand out from the crowd? How do you make yourself more appealing to people, get more buzz about your title? Now, LawBreakers seems to be very interesting. I've seen gameplay from it. I haven't played it. It seems like a cool game, a game that I would enjoy to play with my friends on a console if it ever came, right? But there's not really a lot of hype around the game on the console side at all, mainly because they've kept it PC focused for a while. So there's really no hype on the console side. But here's where the exclusivity comes in. Because you guys know, I know, everybody knows that when a game is exclusive to a platform, whether Nintendo, whether it's Xbox, or whether it's Sony, that game, that exclusive game, is put on a pedestal. That game is then bragged about. It's put in list wars, right? People then promote the shit out of that game because it's exclusive. So if you look at LawBreakers, and people have compared it to Overwatch, right? Because it does remind a lot of people of Overwatch. Doesn't really necessarily maybe play like Overwatch, but it reminds a lot of people of that game. How do you make LawBreakers stand out? How do you do that? What better way than to make it console exclusive? Because then you're going to have the PlayStation fans who previously, more than likely not, and this goes for Xbox fans too, because I've seen them tweet about it, who had no interest in LawBreakers whatsoever. No interest in LawBreakers whatsoever, right? I had little interest in it. I would have played it, right? All of my friends, besides a couple, had no interest in it. Nobody talked about LawBreakers. But now, with one tweet, with one message, everybody's talking about LawBreakers. It is the talk of the town right now, exclusive to PlayStation. Now the PlayStation fanboys have another game they can tout upon Xbox, and then, of course, in the same breath, they can put down Xbox for losing another game. So kudos to CliffyB and the team at Boss Key and Sony for basically making an opportunity out of this. Because, mark my words, LawBreakers is going to be an important game now, because it's exclusive, and because the fanboys will promote the crap out of that game now, while at the same time dissing Xbox. So it's kind of a lose-lose for Xbox. You lose the game, and now, of course, here's the perception again, once again, that Xbox has no games because it just lost Lawbreakers. It's a shame, really. But then on the other side, the other kind of thing with this is the whole CliffyB thing. An Xbox legend, the man behind Gears of War, basically is just given his Xbox fan base, because I'm pretty sure none of his games are on PlayStation. None of the Gears games are. I'm not sure if any of the his previous Epic work is there. So basically, this is his first PlayStation game in a while. A lot of CliffyB's fan base is on Xbox. People love Gears of War. People love CliffyB. And he's basically giving his Xbox fans the cold shoulder. A lot of people aren't going to like that. A lot of people are going to be very disappointed in that. But this also kind of speaks to a larger issue at hand. The fact that a games as a service game, even though this game's going to come out for $30, right? The fact that a first-person shooter would willingly skip Xbox is an eye-opener, to me at least. And it should be to everybody else, I think. This is big. Now, the game might still not do very well. I've seen it compared to Paragon, because remember, Paragon was exclusive to PlayStation and all that other stuff. But MOBA's not that big on consoles, despite Smite being, has a large following. But nobody really cares about MOBA. MOBA's more of a PC thing, right? But people care about shooters, and people care about exclusives. And now you've basically, CliffyB and Boss Key Studios and PlayStation has now added yet another exclusive on the PlayStation side. So now those PlayStation guys can just be like, we have X, we have Y, we have Z. They can keep on saying, we have all these games. What do you have, Xbox? So it just adds to the perception going around that Xbox has no games. What a weird last couple of days, huh? What a weird last couple of days. CliffyB giving Xbox fans the cold shoulder. PlayStation getting exclusive out of nowhere that maybe nobody cares about, but sure as hell will care about now, because it's an exclusive game. LawBreakers making news. Anyways, guys, the video's been going on long enough. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the video, hit that like button, consider subscribing for more content, and I'll see everybody later.